Did Raheem Morris deserve to get chopped this week?
I would have wanted to see him get a shot with a healthy quarterback room. You know what I'm saying? Both years he got a non-healthy quarterback room. You go 8-9, 2 years in a row. But at the end of the day, it's a production-based business. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why they got Penix Jr. just in case this guy get hurt. But now they both hurt. So I don't know, man. It's part of the business. Man, he got his shot. If he'd have went to the playoffs one of those years, he probably have another opportunity. And the kind of guy he is in the building, man, that all the players is going to love him. Every player in the building, the cooks, the chefs, the janitors, everybody is going to love him. So I know the building didn't want it to happen, but it's a production-based business, man. And when you one of those guys, we talk about an excellent coordinator who gets your shot, your leash just a little bit shorter than a head coach who's had success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your leash just going to be a little bit shorter. So, man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that he is getting fired, but
because you love him, right?
I love Ra. I'm sure he'll be somebody D coordinator like this if he want to be. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you suggest to me before the show?
Dallas. Call Ra, man. Ra, pull up, man. They'll give you a nice little check. You know, Jerry don't play about it.
No.
They gonna give you a nice check. You'll be one of the highest paid D coordinators.
I
in the
love
league.
that.
You got some guys to work with. Ra absolutely cook with that Dallas defense.
I second
man.
the emotion.
He'll cook with it, man. So he a great guy, a great locker room guy. He a great coordinator, great football mind. But it's a production-based business, man. If I'm an owner and I got a guy who really haven't proved himself as a head coach, he go 8-9, he go 8-9 again. Shit, I might have to make a change too. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Harold, how are you feeling? So you know him personally.
Yeah, I feel like he should have got one more year because of the momentum you go into.
Yeah.
If you look at the Detroit Lions when they went on their run, okay, they beat Green Bay to finish the season, went to the offseason with momentum, came back, started the season, beat Kansas City to start the year, and then off they went. This team, he drafted well.
Yep.
Most of his draft picks hit. They got a double-digit sack guy, which they haven't had since Vic Beasley in 2016.
Yep.
2 edge rushers. They finally got pass rush, which they have not had. They got guys in the back end that can ball.
MVP.
That's what I'm saying. They got old linemen. They got the weapons on offense. They haven't had the healthy quarterback, but it ain't like he was winning and lost 4 to end. They were up and down, and they won 4 to finish.
Yeah, and
they beat Buffalo. They beat the Rams. It's like he showed that I could turn this thing around. You just give me one more shot. And if you've played for Rob, you've been in the building with him, man. That's why Drake said that. He's one of the greatest people you'll ever be around, and he has nothing in his heart except win. He finds every way to win, and I just feel like the momentum, you go off the momentum. If it's looking like, okay, that ain't how they were looking. That's not how Atlanta was looking. Atlanta needed to lose both the last games for Tampa to get in. They said, forget that. We're going to beat both of these teams.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with who they had. I just wish he'd have got another year, but it is production-based business, but I just feel like with the draft that they had, those draft picks hit. He hit on his draft.
Yeah.
And they finished on the up and up. That's a recipe for giving, okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here.
And looking at it, too, is going from Cousins to Penix to Cousins. Like, there hasn't been stability at the quarterback position. Yeah, you're still winning 8 games. I know it's below 500, but I'm with Gerald on that. I was surprised that they made this decision. I don't know him personally, but I've heard nothing but great things from these guys. I thought they would give him one more year because they won those last 4 games.
I was kind of shocked.
Normally and I've been a part of teams that are out of the playoffs early, but normally when you're 4-9, everyone checks the hell out. They're done. The season's over. Cancun on 3. That's what we're focused on. He's still got the most out of his guys to win 4 games. So that tells me that they still believed in him. And we saw what Drake London said. And we saw what some of the guys in the locker room said about him is that they want Raw back. And this is who we want to play for. I think, though, that this decision was made far in advance with how quickly it happened after the game, regardless of beating the Rams and beating the Saints and doing all these different things. It sounds to me like that decision by Blank had already been made. That's why it happened so quickly. Because if it was really looking at everything from a bigger scale, saying, all right, we were in contention last year for the playoffs. This year we didn't play great. We had quarterback controversy, but we still found a way to go on the run. Maybe next year's the year, like you mentioned with the Lions, that we pop and we go. And let's keep the continuity at head coach to see if we can do that. But again, it just, they ended up making that decision. I don't 100% agree with it. I do think, though, what it came down to is, having that much talent. You mentioned how they drafted. Having that much talent on your roster and going 8-9 both seasons in a division that is up for grabs, I think that played a big part in that. But, yeah, it's tough to see him go. I think he will get another job, though, very quickly.
But the quarterback is always on the shelf.
Yeah, but think about
quarterback-driven league.
And real quick, Skip, before you go, think about all the talent, okay?
Yeah.
The talent is cool. That's great. They were losing to the Bucs. The Bucs have been together. So you take a group of guys who've been together, and the Saints wasn't good, and neither was Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like they are the worst team in the division with a bunch of. When I was in Tampa, all three of the other teams were balling, and then it was us.
Yeah.
That ain't how this look. It's Tampa and then the other three. So he's in a very winnable division with a lot of talent.
Young talent.
Young talent. But my quarterback situation. So if there's no stability there, with that being said, I still won my last 4. And what the people I drafted actually hit on the side of the ball that he's been terrible on.
Look, and I know I've got beef with
When I got the text last night, I was like, nah, this can't be.
I thought so too. I know I got beef with coordinators, and Keith gives me shit for it. I thought Zach Robinson would go, and they would keep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't think Rod.
Ulbrich would stay.
But if Raw made the decision to pay Kirk Cousins,
if you pick these quarterbacks and they always hurt, then I'm gonna look at you like you the one pick these quarterbacks. So
and Raw signed him for Kirk Cousins for $180 million. That was a decision that
he didn't sign him.
Rob
had something to do with it. He might have vouched for him like, I could fucking win with Kirk.
You think that's why Blank fired both the GM and
both of y'all,
Raheem?
both of y'all brought these quarterbacks, and y'all both said let's
But that's
draft
what
him just in case he get hurt. We got a backup.
I think even Rich McKay had something to do with Kirk Cousins. Fontenot and Richmond, he cleaned all the house.
He did.
Okay, so to your point about production business, the one point I can't defend is that Raheem had one winning season as a head coach, and you guys participated, right? Weren't you both at 10-6
Hell yeah.
year? With
Top
Josh
third.
Freeman. Josh Freeman was your quarterback, right?
Yep.
And you missed the playoffs at 10-6. But this shocked me and saddened me because I saw moments this year, opener at Atlanta, Tampa Bay, team that we both loved. It goes to a last-second kick. Here we go again with kickers. And Koo misses a 44-yarder to force overtime. Okay, so Baker survived that game.
Yeah.
Baker survived a bunch of games, or it would have really been a disaster in Tampa. And then, I know I picked this game. I picked Atlanta to beat Buffalo on a Monday night. Now, that was a big win for them with Penix. I'm not a big Penix fan. He's up and down. I'm just not sure he's the long-term answer here. But they did beat Josh Allen 24-14 on Monday Night Football. And then to all of your points, you close the season by winning at Tampa, at Arizona, which is not just a done deal, and then you beat the Rams at home on Monday night, and then you beat a New Orleans yesterday that had won 4 in a row and it suddenly found itself. That should have saved his job. But Blank, to I think your point, he'd already decided, I'm just going to blow this whole thing up.
Yeah.
And yet, Zach Robinson's offense is 24th in points scored. 24th in points scored, and you've got Bijan and Drake London and Kyle Pitt. Are you kidding?
Yep.
You've got 3 of the best targets, and Bijan's a target as a receiver. You got 3 of the best in your 24. Well, just fire the coordinator. Let's try it again. Let's run it back.
Fired too.
Right?
I think they're keeping the OC.
Well, I mean, they just cleaned it out. But now I'm starting to wonder.
Keeping the OC.
Remember?
Zach
fired?
Well,
as of right now, he's not
he
fired.
will be with the
I
new
think
regime.
he will.
When the new head coach come in there, all they ask.
Yeah.
The head coach get fired, everybody fucking fired.
Yeah.
They're not going to announce the OC fired, though, after that.
I remind
He
you.
announced it. When they say the head
Yeah,
coach
it's
is
implied.
fired, you might as well start packing your shit.
I'm with you, though, Skip. I thought
Not
Robinson
keeping no
should have
damn
gone, and maybe Raheem's loyalty to Robinson
Maybe.
might have came back and hurt him.
Maybe.
I thought Robinson should have been gone a while ago.
I'm going to remind you.
Robinson,
Blank.
Hey, if you're the head coach, man, if we 8-9, it's all going to come back to you. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Rob,
I remind
love
you,
Rob. It's
Arthur
all going to come
Blank,
back to you.
he almost hired Belichick before he hired Raheem. And I will not be surprised if he goes and gets Belichick. I won't
Really?
be surprised. I just won't. I think he loves Belichick.
I do have
and it'll
some-
be a disaster. That's just
I do have some news on that right now because the NFL Network reporting the Falcons have requested head coaching interviews with Clint Kubiak, and
Clint's
also
gonna be the hottest shit out.
the Dolphins' defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver. So that's
If you let Clint get that offense, I bet you they average 27.
It would.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
He would love that way more than he'd love the Cleveland.
But
You have to
even,
go get him a quarterback, though.
yeah, they got to figure out the quarterback
He ain't gonna- he
situation.
knew
Well, they got a little money
has to
tied
be
up
fixed.
right now.
Get rid of these guys, man. Give me Willis or somebody. Give me somebody who can run this thing.
Yeah.
And then also Matt Ryan is expected to be hired as the president of football operations.
Wow.
So Falcons are making some
Matty Ice,
big,
man. Look.
big
Matty
changes.
Ice.
I wouldn't be
Just been
surprised
one
if
of those
they
guys.
interviewed Brian Flores too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I
You
think
think-
with all those weapons on offense, I'm going to get an offensive guy.
Yeah.
You think,
You have
you think
to.
Vance Joseph will be in this cycle too for another head coaching job?
Sure.
I mean, I know you probably don't want to lose him, but
He might get an
I think he
interview or
absolutely-
something, but I don't feel like it's, how
He's
many
like,
jobs is it?
no.
Like 4 jobs? 5?
Yeah, Giants,
Raiders.
Falcons, Raiders, Cleveland.
yeah,
4.
Yeah, 4.
yeah.
Titans?
Titans.
Yeah.
Titans.
5? I mean,
There might be a couple more too.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
no,
Vance
it
get one
ain't.
this year.
It's early.
Yeah, there might be a couple
It's
more.
early.
Yeah, this is just Monday. All right, let's move on to another firing because the Raiders go 3-14 and they secure the #1 overall pick in the draft. And Las Vegas has decided to move on from Pete Carroll. So after just 1 season, his contract was for 3, and they're looking like minority owner Tom Brady will have a huge say in who they are going to hire next. So, Skip, did Pete Carroll deserve to be fired?
He did not.
Really?
I thought
wow,
this was
Skip.
dead
Whoa.
wrong. Dead wrong.
How?
Really?
Dang.
Pete Carroll has proven to be an all-time great head coach.
He has.
It's the old school way, though.
At your school,
Yep.
he won 2 national championships and went 97-19 and lost to Vince Young, who played the greatest championship game I have ever seen.
We got it, Skip. We remember.
Right? 30 of
Remember that
40
one.
he completed that night, and he ran 19 times for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He did.
And you lost 41-38. That's
did.
how close he came to 3 championships. At Seattle, he obviously won 1 Super Bowl, 43-8 against your franchise and Peyton, and would have won a second one if not for a last-second interception by Malcolm Butler, who had gotten thrown into the game, and it was
That he had something to do with them throwing the ball. You the head coach, right? So you should
he
have
signed off. Okay.
You signed off on that
Yeah.
shit. So you the reason you don't got to.
Okay, you can certainly make that case, but they were in position to win a second Super Bowl, and this is what kills me about the way the Raiders are being run. Tom Brady is the chief advisor to the Raiders. He is the unofficial GM of the Raiders. Ian Rappaport has reported that he will lead the head coaching search now. He blessed Pete Carroll as the new head coach. He blessed going to get Geno, who finished second to last in QBR. And Tom Brady blessed Chip Kelly as the coordinator who was gone by midseason. So at least you give Pete Carroll one more shot here. It was a sorry team with sorry management, starting with Tom Brady. And now Tom's off the hook
That's crazy.
because he's leading the search for the next head coach after he blessed and was heavily involved in picking Pete Carroll. He just deserved another year. This is beneath his dignity to get fired after 1 sorry-ass year in Las Vegas.
I feel like you're disagreeing here.
Man, if you the head coach, you get the blame. If you win a chip, you get the blame if you shitty. Now, I don't know who blessed what, but I guarantee you Tom ain't say, hey, let's go get Geno. And then Pete Carroll said, all right, yeah, let's go. It probably was the other way. Pete Carroll said, man, we need to bring in Geno. He's a hell of a leader. He's a hell of a... And then Tom just kind of maybe signed off on it, if he signed off on
And
it
there's a
at all.
reason now they're giving
That's
him
that
most
going
of
to
the
get your
say.
guy
Maybe it didn't
stuff.
work
Yeah.
out. And
That's
now
that-
they're like, Tom, we need you to step
That's
up.
what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Geno wasn't Tom's first pick. You chose to bring in Geno. This shit was trash. Hey, bro. This your product. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta go, bro.
Yeah, if it was
I
Tom's
feel like, man,
decision.
it's Pete is the oldest coach in the league, man. You gotta throw the whistle on the wire sooner or later, Skip. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna sit around and watch this shit till you
So you
90.
think this was all his fault this year?
It ain't all his fault,
no.
but guess somebody got to get the blame, right? We can't do this shit again. We not finna do this again. So
Yeah.
you pick Geno for sure gone.
Life of
so
a
you
head
might as
coach.
well be gone too. And just let's start it all over. We got young talent. We got the number 1 pick. We trying to find somebody who gonna rock with Mendoza and Bowers and Genty, somebody who can come run and put this shit together. You know what I'm saying? So
need to build the offensive line.
The offensive line.
It's
It
a
doesn't
lot.
matter who you have
But
as
it's a
quarterback
lot.
with that offensive line.
It's a lot they need to build, but I just look at, okay, Caleb was in place in Chicago, but Pete, times have changed. Everything's evolving, and they are in Vegas. These guys are young. It's Vegas. It's just football. It's just different. So when you look at what Ben Johnson did in Chicago, he just electrified that whole locker room. He got this young, vibrant energy, and he got them believing.
Exactly.
When you watch the Raiders this year, they didn't look like they played with that fire that they had in Seattle or those Pete Carroll type teams. It just didn't look like it. Just did not look like it across the board. So when that's happening, you got to bring somebody in that's gonna bring that. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, but it starts with what type of football are we going to play?
Right.
What caliber of football are we putting out on the field? When you watch the Raiders, you didn't see, okay, week in and week out, you see Max out there dying trying to win. If you look across the board, that ain't what you see. Like that's not what you seen across the board. Sometimes you see, man, they got a solid foundation. These dudes are really fighting. That's not what you see with the Raiders.
But like we
and
said,
that
there's
stems
only
from the top.
so many guys.
But that
for that
stems from
position.
that stems from the top. It's how you practice it. What type of mentality are we? It's cool, man. Pete Carroll recruited me. I love Pete Carroll. But the days of let me go out and play catch with the guys and practice and let's shoot. Yeah, that's cool, man. We need something different.
the guys got to
You're
buy in.
defending Kevin Stefanski, but not Pete Carroll.
No, I didn't.
Love that.
I didn't.
You did defend Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, you did.
No, I said no. I said it. No, what I said was
He
I
talked about
said it
his
was.
coach of the year.
I
Say, let's
said
not
it,
forget what he did.
I said it was time for a change.
Yeah.
Is that not what I said? I
You
said
did
it was
say
time
that.
for a
You said
change.
that.
I'm saying it's time for a change in Vegas, but you can't take away what Pete Carroll did. I'm talking about right now and what needs to happen. Cleveland needed a change, and so do the Raiders.
I
They
think
needed a change.
Yeah, they
The
need
quarterback
a young
problem
team, man.
is-
They need a nice, young, confident coach to come in there, man. With
But
with a new,
who is that? Everybody needs this young, confident head coach. Where we're looking for
They
every
shouldn't have
single
got rid of the
team.
one
Where they
that was
at?
there in 21, but
Yeah.
whatever.
There's only so
I
many
agree
Ben
with that.
Johnson.
I
He
agree
was
with
the
that.
scapegoat for a lot of stuff that took place. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have got rid of that one. But
Wait, which one are you talking about?
John Gruden.
Oh, you're going.
Yeah, that's fair. Everybody loved John Gruden. Cody?
Yeah, I hate this for Pete Carroll. I wish we could all just erase this from our memories and that it doesn't have anything to do with his legacy, which I don't think it should.
Ain't nobody gonna
but it's
remember
going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Well, some of the younger generation that doesn't know
Yeah.
Pete Carroll for all the things that Skip mentioned, and a lot of these young Raider fans are going to look at it and say, well, why'd we hire this old guy? That's obviously they're going to be their perception of him. I didn't like it when they hired him in the first place, and I said that early on. I mean, he's 74 years old. What was the end goal here? Say he does turn it around in a year or two, gets everything back on track. Now he's 76, and then he's 77 in year 3, and even if he gets things going the right direction, now you're going to have to start all over again, a head coach, and you're going to clean house and do all these different, because I felt like to me that maybe their idea was let's let Pete Carroll put a foundation in place, get a winning culture, maybe hire within someone on the staff right now, or go get someone that can just fill the spot and keep rolling. That doesn't normally happen, so
Yeah.
I didn't love the hire in the first place. I hate it for Pete Carroll. I do think it was the right decision, though, the fact that they got rid of him. I mean, when you start 1-0, and then you finish 2-14 the last 16 games, it's hard to defend that and say, all right, yeah, we're going to keep this guy for next year. But I think the age obviously played a factor. But I'm with you guys on that. I think they go get a young coach and maybe an offensive-minded guy, get someone. And that's kind of how things are going nowadays with the Ben Johnson, these first-year head coaches that are younger. Mike McDonald is 38 years old. They hired him at 37.
Man.
These guys can turn around a locker room.
Yeah.
They can relate better to these players. They're player coaches. And I'm not going to sit here, though, and disrespect Pete Carroll's culture and what he's done as a head coach. I think he's one of the greatest coaches.
Just because we
No,
say he's
everybody-
there to get
yeah.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I want to make that clear that I'm not saying Pete Carroll can't still put a culture in place that's respectful.
See, we trying to make that clear that we don't disrespect his resume.
Yeah.
Everybody respect Pete Carroll, but that's not what needs to happen in Vegas
these
right
young
now.
guys need young guys who they can relate
Okay,
to.
so the
Who gonna come in
Ravens,
locker
the
room and
Ravens
pop out?
don't need a young guy. They need an 18-year head coach. He's now, what, 60-something years
Yeah,
old?
but the
been there,
Ravens,
though.
the
They
Ravens
have
are in in a window.
They coming off being the number one
different
seed.
team.
The Ravens are in a
They're
window.
not a
The
little
Raiders are
baby
the
team.
worst,
With an
are the
MVP.
farthest away from a window right
They're
now.
a
That's
real
it.
veteran team. They're not a little
that's
baby
what-
team.
and that's
And
what
they like
Baltimore's
right
always
there.
been.
They got one more year. If Harbaugh don't do it, Lamar don't do it with the wing.
I will admit, maybe I'm a prisoner of knowing too many of the Legion of Boomers, starting with Richard Sherman. They still believe heart and soul in Pete Carroll, and they do not think he's lost his fastball, and they're outraged over this.
Well, if
I
you
think he was put in a hard situation.
But also
You have
think-
no
They
O-line, you have a
42.
quarterback.
he was, but
That's
also
that
think about
40-year-old
this.
mind.
I just talked about Rod.
They my age, yeah.
I just
what I'm
talked
saying.
about Rod and his draft picks. His draft picks hit. Raiders drafted all these people.
Well, I will say
None of them hit.
the chat says 65% of the chat says Pete Carroll should have been fired. So they're riding with that. But
It hurts.
enough about the negativity and the firing. Let's get into some Super Bowl contenders.
let's.
Okay?